What's up, IndyCar collectors? This is OBB, the Diecast News Guy, bringing you all with another, well, actually, the return of IndyCar Diecast reviews. As you guys know, I've been trying to play the catch-up game on some of the latest 2022 IndyCar releases, and I finally got this one added to my collection, and I gotta give a quick shout-out to my good buddies at Gutswear Racing. They have been a long-time supporter of my channel, and I've been a long-time customer for them for quite a while now. Both me and Race Day 2011 know the owner, Tom, pretty well, and I was very surprised to go and get this car at the Roar before the 24, and today it's getting on the diecast. I'm so happy to review because, as you guys know, I go to this big race in the month of May at Memorial Day weekend every year, all right, since 2015. It is on Marcus Ericsson's 2022 Indianapolis 500 champion. Yes, those words came out of my mouth. The F1 superstar himself, Marcus Ericsson from Sweden, became the second Swedish driver to win the Indianapolis 500 along with Kenny Brack. I still cannot believe this guy won the Indianapolis 500, man. I mean, wow. This just shows you just how, why the Indianapolis 500 is like the best 500-mile race that no other, series can beat. Because you just don't know who the hell is going to win this. But we're going to take a look at the packaging right here, which is brought by our good friends at Greenlight Collectibles. I know they do get some shit sometimes, but they always do an immaculate job with the packaging, and this one is really cool. Shout out to all the Marcus Ericsson fans who are watching this, as we finally got ourselves a Huski chocolate diecast. Guys, even though you can't even buy this type of chocolate, since it is a European chocolate, I don't know why. I guess Hershey's or Mars Candy's like, oh, maybe it's that good. Well, we're not going to have that in the U.S., Maybe that's why, but I don't know, maybe because it has something to do with licensing, but, finally, after a few years we've had this livery, we finally got in the diecast form, and that's why I love the Indianapolis 500, because Greenlight Collectibles always has a guaranteed policy with the diecast. Whoever wins the 500, no matter what the licensing is, we are going to have the diecast regardless. But let's go ahead and let's look at the back of this diecast, as I know this is a much more longer introduction than usual, but this is for all good reasons, guys. So go ahead and pause the video if you guys want to read this, because this is a storybook right here, and you guys can probably get a nice little insight about this diecast. And who knows, maybe this is probably the first time you guys are an IndyCar fan watching my channel. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and crack open this bad boy. Let's take a close look at your reigning Indianapolis 500 champion, Marcus Ericsson. And alrighty, guys, we got this diecast out of its box, and my God, I am so happy we finally got a Marcus Ericsson Chip Ganassi Racing diecast in not only 118 but also the 164 scale, guys. It has been a few years since we've had a number 8 car released for the IndyCar series. I think since probably like Max Chilton, if I had to guess, probably. And then before that, I want to say probably Ryan Briscoe. So yeah, dude, it has been quite a while, but this was well worth it because, he is, like I said, the second Swedish driver to win the Indianapolis 500, and there could be a third one coming up with his name of Felix Rosenqvist, but we're not here to talk about that, guys. We're here to talk about this guy right here, Marcus Ericsson, which you guys know, and majority of you fans probably know from his F1 days with Sauber, I believe. So as you guys know, I don't really watch too much F1, but I am familiar with what Marcus Ericsson was, and he definitely brought a lot of great international fans to the Indy 500 and also for the IndyCar series. And dude, this right here, I'm just so happy we finally got the diecast of this, man. See, we do got the Indianapolis 500 tires right there. This is a commemorative win. I know a lot of people do remember that Greenlight does make race wins, but mostly what's race win is that they just put like dirt and grime all over the car and they call it a day. It's not really accurately scaled compared to what Lionel does. I'll give Lionel some credit right there. I'm kind of taking shots at that Scott Dixon, championship race version that we had, a few years ago when he won the championship. But yeah, this guy right here, man, Marcus Ericsson, man. And, there were a lot of people that were speculating that Ericsson was going to be, a nice little, I want to say dark horse, but he was quite, pretty fast. I mean, all the Chip Ganassi cars were pretty fast. I think what majority of them actually qualified for the Fast 9 leading up for, for qualifications for the Indianapolis 500. So, Chip Ganassi Racing, man, seems like it is the team to beat. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are quite familiar with that brand, not only with IMSA, but also for NASCAR. So it's a pretty well-known team, and they know how to get shit done, unless your name is Scott Dixon, because, heck, that guy just, ever since his one and only Indianapolis 500 win, he's just been cursed, man. But, joining the guys, Many other Chip Ganassi Racing drivers, including the three-timer Dario Franchitti, Marcus Ericsson is now added to that list. And that is just so amazing, man. I mean, I've always, I did kind of grew a nice little soft spot for Marcus Ericsson. And of course, because he was, when he first started, which was like back in 2018, I believe, he was teammates with Hinchcliffe. And then eventually, when Schmidt-Peterson went their separate ways with him and they had different plans with Marcus Ericsson when they went to Chip, and then that's when he went to Chip Ganassi Racing because Schmidt went with the McLaren routes, and then McLaren kind of took over that whole team afterwards, and the rest was history, man. But yeah, Marcus Ericsson, man, has just been just a quiet guy, around the Indianapolis circuits, but consistent, man. And when you're consistent, you probably have a good shot, and man, he definitely delivered. So we're going to look at the fine details right here of this car. I mean, there's not really much going on with the paint scheme. It's just mostly, I will admit that this car does have like a matte finish, and the red is a lot more matter and a lot more like a nice red. It's not as like, it is a nice red when you put it up to put it up to close. But like if I describe the red, it's a lot more darker in person. Coming on the camera, it does look a little more like a different type of red. I can't really describe it, but more like an apple red, if I had to say right there. You see the mountains right there for Huski chocolates. Really cool, guys. I like the details of that right there. You see the little exhaust ports and the air flakes. You see the cockpit as well with the aero screen, which was designed by PVG. Yeah, dude, just the accents on this car looks really cool. Now, this is the reason why I think a lot of people said, do like green lights, but we do got some quality issues right there. It looks like we got a little bit of a paint bubble right there, or like on the Firestone tire. So I didn't know Firestones, get paint on their cars, but we got a little bit of a chip right there, and also another paint chip right here on the Huski logo. Nothing too crazy, but do got to point out the flaws. I mean, green light's not really safe from quality issues either. Thankfully, this is on the the oval kit. If everybody who is new to collecting IndyCar diecast, they only make IndyCar diecast on the oval kits for 1/64 scale. I'm hoping one of these years they do make the road course and street circuit kits, because Hot Wheels used to do that. I don't see why I almost said Lionel. I don't know why can't Greenlight do that. Probably because Indy 500 is the most popular event, so that's probably why they want that car that runs Indianapolis 500 to have all their diecast produced on. We got some more shit shedding right here from my gloves, but yeah, you see right there, it's a little hard to see in some of the printing a little bit, but you see there's Indianapolis 500 qualification stickers, Speedway, Entity, IndyCar Series, Honda, more Huski chocolates, and then you see all the other sponsors right there. Ridgeline, that's a nice R, and then some more other sponsors right there. Huski chocolate, just really nice details, guys. And prepare to be shocked, guys. You want to know how much I paid for this thing? $10. $10. Way cheaper than what you get for our Lionel Series Gold Series car, which I saw at Daytona, guys. At Daytona, they're selling 2022 diecast for $15. I bet your ass that's how much they're going to be at the haulers, which is pretty darn insane. That's the same price as a metal chassis car with no rubber tires. This car, it's a diecast metal chassis with rubber tires. As you can see, that is rubber. I mean, that's definitely rubber, not plastic. With the metal chassis, Greenlight just knows what a quality 164 diecast is. Well, bumping up another notch, and then you got the Acme diecast. Those are really cool. If you guys want to see some World of Outlaws diecast reviews, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. I do have some in my collection that I could probably show off or do a mega diecast review, because, man, it's time to show on this channel what quality diecast reviews are. Hate to take shots of Lionel. I'll still do my diecast reviews, but this is great quality at its finest, man. Even with the paint chips aside, man, you gotta admit the precision and craftsmanship that Greenlight Collectibles has with these cars is absolutely astounding. But getting back to Marcus Ericsson, guys, as we're already getting 6 minutes in or 7 minutes into this video. Yeah, Marcus Ericsson, man, put off one hell of a fight, guys. The thing came down to I know he did won this race under caution, but before this, guys, when it came down to a 2-lap shootout, oh man, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, holy shit. As you guys know, I'm a big Pato Award fan now, since, Hinchcliffe is no longer racing full-time. So I was hoping Pato was going to get it done. And he had a shot. He had a shot coming down turn 1 of the final lap, but just it wasn't enough. Trying to make the side on the high side, unless your name is Takuma Sato. Good luck trying to, make that move. Ericsson was going to give it up, and, at the end of the day, he just had a faster car, guys. But, something crazy could have happened at that finish, but unfortunately, Sage Karam, I guess, got into a wreck, come down to the final lap, and crashed his car into the infield, and that is basically what caused that race to end under yellow. I know a lot of people, especially a lot of the NASCAR fans, do not really like seeing races end under yellow, but this is the Indianapolis 500, and when it's 500 miles, that's it. There's no overtime, there's no anything like that. That is why this race is the most, prestigious and most traditional race that you got, period, all right? So when that caution comes out and your driver is number one and they're about to cross that start-finish line, you're going to go nuts. And I know a lot of people who are Marcus Ericsson fans absolutely went apeshit over this, guys. I still couldn't believe this guy won the Indianapolis 500, man. That's just what's so special about this, man. And I'm hoping... hoping you guys who are watching this actually are able to, I'm not saying attend the Indy 500 every year, but one of these years, man, especially next year with Kyle Larson running the 2024, as he's going to be qualified for the 2024 Indianapolis 500 next year, definitely would recommend checking it out, guys. The Daytona 500 and the Coca 600 is all cool and all, and the Southern 500 and all these other big races, the Rolex 24, but there's nothing, and I mean there is nothing better that can beat what tradition is than the Indianapolis 500. And Marcus Ericsson got the job done, and we're only going to see what's going to happen next, guys. Could he be just a one and done with the 500, or could he join, a list of other drivers who have won this race more than once? Feel free to comment below what you guys say about there, as this is going to wrap up the diecast review of Marcus Ericsson's 2022 Husky Chocolate Indianapolis 500 champion diecast from Greenlight Collectibles and Husky Chocolate Chip Ganassi Racing. So, comment, like, subscribe. This has been OBB. See you guys next time on another IndyCar Diecast review. And, winners, drink milk.